to turn your camera off. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Adrienne Tungate, the Executive Director of Chicago Sister Cities International, which is an initiative of World Business Chicago. And thank you for joining us on day 3 of our Thank You for 60 programming that explores the impact that sister cities and our 600 volunteers have had in both Chicago and in our sister cities. Today, we are talking about education. And I'm not supposed to have favorites when we talk about our programming, but our educational programs really light me up and are incredibly impactful. To provide opportunities to students to open up their worlds and their perspectives, and to learn about different cultures and realize how people from around the world are the same and different from each other and from them, goes to the very essence of our mission of people-to-people diplomacy. And it can change a person's perspective and choices for the rest of their lives. I'm incredibly grateful for our volunteers and to the teachers who have dedicated themselves to providing these amazing opportunities for our students. I have to say I've learned just as much from the students as I have from our amazing volunteers and our teachers involved in these initiatives. And I'm so thrilled that you've all joined us here today to learn about some of our educational initiatives. So thank you.
Thank you, Adrienne. And again, thank you all for joining us today. Each day this week, as Adrienne said, we're taking a deep dive into particular focus areas of our work. And while it's just a little snippet of everything, we're hoping that these highlights will give you a small sense of the tremendous work and impact that our committees have had across Chicago and the world. And to keep things interesting, we will be doing a short round of trivia at the end of this presentation, like we have the past couple of days. The winner will receive a $25 electronic gift certificate to the Taste of Sister Cities restaurant partner of their choice. They're listed here, so be sure to pay attention. With that, today we will be talking about another of CSEI's major areas of focus, which is education initiatives. From the very beginning, education has been at the heart of what we do. And in fact, all 29 of our sister city committees have participated in education initiatives in one way or another. Now, we all know that education is important for a variety of reasons, but education, particularly from an early age, is also an important tool for citizen diplomacy. Education programs not only impart knowledge, but also teach skills, discipline, communication, leadership, and expand students' worldviews by meeting and learning from their peers in different parts of the world. The programming CSEI and its committees have done around education is varied and wide-ranging. There have been pen pal programs, teacher exchanges, cultural exchanges. There have been physical exchanges and now virtual exchanges. Many committees find success in implementing education initiatives by nominating an education chair and or education subcommittee, which is a core group of committee members whose focus is identifying and executing educational programs. As many of you know, CSEA launched its core education initiative, the Global Youth Ambassadors Leadership Summit, in 2016. This week-long leadership summit brings together girls from Chicago and our international sister cities, often to life-changing effect. And it's awesome as staff that we get to see these girls when they first arrive and the transition and how they change to the time they leave. And it's only in a matter of 7 days. Since 2016, 119 girls have participated in the summit, representing 24 Chicago high schools and 22 sister city countries. Additionally, 5 sister cities, Bogota, Birmingham, Durban, Kiev, and Osaka, have hosted satellite events, which are one-day leadership workshops for all the applicants from their particular city. We are proud to have a robust and active alumni network of more than 380 girls who have participated in our summits. The summit for 2021 will be virtual again, just like the 2020 summit. And we hope that we can count on your support as always to help spread the word and recruit fabulous applicants from your sister cities. More information on the application process and dates will come, but we're anticipating around mid-December to have the applications open and ready to go. Next slide. Sister Schools. Our Sister Schools program provides an opportunity for students, teachers, and administrators in Chicago schools to interact with their counterparts in schools in Chicago's 29 international sister cities. The Sister Schools program has reached more than 50 Chicago schools and has ongoing programs that have directly engaged tens of thousands of youth in global thinking. This program initiates, implements, and supports the development of strong ties between Chicago schools and their international counterparts. Through academic exchanges that span language acquisition, cultural exploration, science education, sports, and more, the Sister Schools program gives Chicago students access to a truly global education while introducing our international peers to our city's youth and our country's diverse and welcoming culture. Here we see a couple of examples of sister city education initiatives. On the left, it's a group of improv teachers from Second City who traveled to Amman, Jordan. A grant from the US State Department, Make Jordanians Laugh, funded 2 workshops for 15 practicing professionals and 12 beginners led by Second City instructors. And on the right, there's a photo of a group of Chicago students visiting Hamburg, Germany as part of a sister school exchange. Today, we are going to hear from 2 committee members who will talk to us about the work they've done in the world of education. First, I'd like to introduce Monique Tranchevant from the Paris Committee to talk about the ongoing education exchanges they have worked on. Monique.
Hi, do you hear me now? Yeah. Hi, everyone. The presentation was made thanks to the joint efforts of all the members of the Paris-Chicago Education Subcommittee. The other members are Mary Robinson, who is the head of the subcommittee. Mary was also a French teacher at Truman College. Donna Shen was a French teacher at Lakeview High School. Moniz Louis is a French teacher at Walter Payton High School, and they both organize exchanges with the students. Our committee was formed in 2000. The first high school who contacted us in 2003 was Louis le Grand, a very prestigious high school in Paris. 4 high schools from Chicago wanted to welcome the Louis le Grand students that year, but that was not very convenient. So since then, our committee has always tried to find a way to partner the schools one-to-one. But these pictures here from 2005, 2006, because the Louis le Grand students and the Lincoln Park High School students have kept the relationship going since 2003. So this has been an amazing relationship. And they are now signing the certificate. In 2011, the committee organized a fundraising at Think Art to help the schools defray some of the transportation fees and other costs as well. Some of the money was used on field trips. One of the most popular ones for the students was the cooking classes in Paris, for instance. In 2012, a memorandum of understanding was signed between a representative of the Embassy of France and a representative of Chicago Public Schools. In 2003, the rector of Paris, Monsieur Veil, came to Chicago to make individual exchanges officials. And certificates signed by the mayor of Chicago are now given to the schools as a token of the friendships between the two cities. You can see teachers and principals later on signing the certificates. Thanks to the numerous contacts our members have with colleagues in the Chicago public school system, our committee has been able to build a strong network of school exchanges. With the support of the chairs of the Chicago Paris Sister Committee, Brett August and David Reithofer, and also Renee Johnson in Paris, we help schools find counterparts and coordinate the homestay exchanges. Our goal has always been to make sure that the demographic diversity of Chicago is represented in the exchanges. We try to give a chance to as many students as possible to participate in the exchanges. In 2014, 2015 alone, 8 high schools organized homestay exchanges across the Atlantic. Each exchange is about 10 days long. Typically, the students spend the weekend with their family. During the week, they attend classes at the high school and meet other students. And they also have a chance to visit the city with their teachers. Around 14 public high schools have participated in the program so far. 40 physical exchanges have taken place between the two cities since 2003. Hundreds of American and French students have met this way, and many are still friends today. They now communicate through Facebook and other media. The last exchange that was created was between the Prosser Culinary Career Academy and the famous École Hôtelière de Paris. Students are always very surprised at how much they have in common with the students of the other city. They share a lot of the same culture, music, fashion, and many have become friends for the long term. They all agree it's a very unique and enriching experience. For the exchanges to be successful, teachers need to work very hard and accept to take the responsibility of taking teenagers abroad. They need the strong support of the principals to convince parents that their children will be safe. They also need the financial help, and also they need to fill out a lot of administrative paperwork needed for the trips. Principals who support the program feel that the exchanges benefit the whole school community and give an international visibility to the schools. It also gives the opportunity for the teachers to build strong personal relationships with their French counterparts, which is not easy when the two countries are so far apart. I'm convinced that the more exchanges we organize between the teenagers, the better. It helps fight stereotypes and benefits the future of the society. Our committee hopes to be able to help many more students discover Paris and the French culture in the years to come. With Chicago Sister Cities International, we feel it's important to have a continuous dialogue between the two cities. And Marnis is going to read a few quotes from the students.
Right. One thing, that we love to hear is student feedback, how their experience was. And just going to share a couple with you. When asked what their favorite part of the trip was, one student replied, "Experiencing French culture through the more authentic lens of living with a French family. I'd been to Paris before, but I felt like my living arrangements on this trip gave me a whole new view of the city and the lives of those who live there." Another student expressed, "One of my favorite memories of the exchange was simply walking. The presence of Paris felt so different from Chicago, yet both now feel a little like home. Getting to experience various aspects of Paris was such an eye-opening experience, giving previously learned customs and traditions real-world meaning and significance. Physically walking down the streets, forced to be immersed in the city and speak French, I academically felt more comfortable and confident in pursuing French as my second language. Being a student in an international program, going to France and stepping out of my comfort zone solidified my work toward international awareness for the betterment of not just myself, but others."
Thank you so much, Monique and Marnie. The amount of continuous exchanges you have put together is incredible. As you can see here under the impact slide, we have had 40 physical exchanges that have taken place since 2003. Hundreds of French and American students have participated. And I think it's just phenomenal, all the work that you do. That's the end of the education for sister schools. Now we are going to hear from Lisa Roberts, co-chair of the Casablanca Committee, about the STEAM Museum.
Hi, everybody. I'm actually going to give an overview first of the variety of educational initiatives that we've undertaken. But I want to begin by just giving a shout out to Julie Staliano, who's on this Zoom as well, who is my co-chair and partner in crime, and has been in the thick of a lot of the activities I'm going to talk about. And Marilyn as well, who was our fearless leader for many years before Julie and I took over. The Casablanca Committee's done a lot of different kinds of programs related to education. And I thought it would be useful to kind of present these in these 3 different categories of activities, starting with the sister schools. Next slide, please. So basically, some of these have led to exchanges. Some of them were built around programs and projects. I think that Monique just did a great job summarizing the value of the exchanges and some of the challenges involved. Our very first one, next slide. Our very first sister school relationship was between Lincoln and Le Cèdre, and that was both elementary and high school in 1999. And that relationship, probably more than any of the subsequent ones, led to the greatest number of physical exchanges. There is no substitute, of course, for meeting one another in the flesh and doing the homestays and getting inside the country and the culture. And I think Paris, I think it's incredible you pulled off 40 physical exchanges. As I know, you know, there are a lot of really big logistical challenges to this as well, doing it with minors and working with the constraints of the school systems. But nonetheless, the school exchanges have been a really important part of our educational connections. And on the left, I did want to emphasize that teacher exchanges are a really important part of that as well. And having a chance for the teachers to get together and share best practices and plan is a really important part of the exchange program as well. If you go to the next slide, the next couple of slides show examples of programs that we have developed for the sister schools to engage in together. Global Voices is one of the longest running. It was started by Arlene Crutzen and the Pegasus Players, and basically involves students in language classes in the United States paired with students studying English in Morocco in this case, although the program is in many countries at this point, but they use playwriting to explore some topic of interest. And each classroom works with an artist in residence and writes 1-act plays in the language that they're studying about some topic that's relevant to their lives. It may be bullying or family issues or substance abuse. And at the end of the semester, the students perform their plays for one another via a video conference, which is what you're looking at right here. And it opens up a conversation about that topic. If it's bullying, as somebody said earlier, it's amazing that many of these issues that are important to teens everywhere. And that is something that they learn, and it gives them something to talk about together. The next slide is another program called the Growing Connection, which was a project of the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization. And this was something that we adopted. It's a way of fighting hunger by growing food in these very low cost, low maintenance earth boxes, which you can kind of see in the pictures. We went over and did some training programs with the students and teachers. And it's a program designed to focus on teaching plant science, improving nutrition, cultivating entrepreneurship if one wants to sell their crops that they grow. But importantly, the students are linked together in partnership with a school in another country so that they can exchange information about, you know, growth rates or recipes or that kind of thing. So there's a strong cross-cultural component. And sadly, this does not exist anymore. Like I said, it began with the UN. And I think it just, there were a lot of logistical issues with it, but it was a really wonderful way. Some of these sister school relationships are successful when you have something to do together like this, and something very structured and specific to talk about together. The next slide is Lauren. This is for you. I see Lauren's on there too. This is Frances Parker. And this is it was a math and art project done by the middle school students at Parker. This is right outside the school up on Clark Street. And basically the kids, they measured the distance and the specific direction that each one of our sister cities is from Francis Parker, and created these posts, which are really colorful and fun and accurate. And I don't know if all the sister city people know that that's out there, but it's a really wonderful sort of homage to sister cities. And that was, and I know Lauren was quite involved in that. So we really love that. The next slide, I just wanted to, I have no images to share with you here, but just to draw your attention to the fact that we've done a little bit with higher education. There's a lot of opportunity there, easier opportunity, frankly, working with graduate students in business and law and public policy. When you're not dealing with minors, it makes it a whole lot easier, as you can imagine. And there have been classes from Northwestern and University of Chicago who have gone over to tour graduate schools and meet with their counterparts and explore internship possibilities, and doing workshops. That's been a really important experience. The World Bank literacy study, that was something in 2005 that was related to the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals. And Casablanca and Chicago focused our study on the area of literacy in 2 poor working class neighborhoods in Casablanca. And then quickly, I don't mean to just run through these, but I want to give you an idea of the scope of kinds of things that sister cities can do together. So the next few slides are some other educational initiatives we've been involved with. Basketball camp, which was so fun, and brought 4 coaches from one-on-one basketball to Casablanca to work with the kids and use basketball as a means of teaching life skills through sports, you know, teamwork and discipline and all the things that sports are so good at. And in particular, this was also about countering the influence of some of the extremist groups that were beginning to recruit young Moroccans, which was a really serious problem. If you go to the next slide, this was also the impetus behind the foundation of Neighborhoods Association Idmaj, which was founded in 2008, an NGO by our forever partner, Boubker Mazous. And this was created in the wake of the bombings in Casablanca in Morocco in 2003 and 2007. And it was designed to really serve the youth in this very marginalized neighborhood where a lot of recruitment was happening, and to encourage them to stay in school and give them a place to go. A lot of kids were dropping out for all the same reasons our kids drop out. And this cultural center, it's a little hard to see, but our committee donated $15,000 to help get this cultural center when it was starting. And it actually, for a long time, had Chicago. Oh yeah, you can see it, Chicago Casablanca. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see just a few examples of the kinds of things that happen inside. Lots of classes around music and art and language and computers, but also importantly, programs teaching kids how to be good citizens and future leaders. And this has kind of become our headquarters when we go to Casablanca to do our work, because it's such a center of activity and inspiration. The last couple slides, or almost last, this is the STEAM Museum project, which has been something that has been sort of the center of my life for the last 4 years. And this was one of the first projects funded by the Stevens Initiative, which was created by the family of Ambassador Chris Stevens. He's the one who died in Benghazi. And it was created to connect youth between the MENA region and the United States, to break down stereotypes and form relationships and things that were so needed at this time in 2016. That's when it began. It's a virtual exchange program, We had no idea at the time that virtual exchange was going to become de rigueur by 2020. Basically, the way it works, next slide, please, is that high schools are partnered between Chicago and Casablanca, and the students, they go through a year's, it's basically an academic year's worth of activities that are designed to get them to know one another by working on a project together. In this case, the creation of a digital exhibit, a STEAM-related exhibit for the virtual museum. A lot of it is done asynchronously offline, but we do set up synchronous video conferences so that the students can talk to one another in real time. And those are the real breakthrough moments. This is what it looks like. Students, the students on the left will be talking on a computer and see their counterparts projected up above. And basically the video conferences, they're always really carefully structured and facilitated, because especially at the beginning, the students are so shy about talking to each other, and especially in the language they're studying, not their first language. But here's what happens. At some point, the conversation starts to naturally turn towards something completely off topic, but something that they want to talk about. And it's usually like the latest Spider-Man movie or Game of Thrones or Beyonce. Everyone loves Beyonce. Who knew? I knew that. But I wanted to share with you just a really short video of what that looks like when it happens, because just so you can see the love. So let me tell you first. So what happened here is that this is the end of one of the video conferences. This is Lindblom High School. One of the Moroccan students, everyone's looking at the screen, one of the Moroccan students had just sung a song to the Chicago kids. It was completely unplanned and off script, but something that was totally relatable. So our kids, not to be outdone, pushed one of their classmates to sing a song back. And this is what happened.
I know you love me, I know you care, oh, just show me that love, and I'll be there. Yeah, you are my love, you are my heart, and I will never, ever, ever be apart. I'll realize what girl you're playing. We just friends, what are you saying? Said there's another look right in my eyes. My birds all broke my heart for the first time, and I was like, baby, 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 oh, like baby, 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 oh, like baby, 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 oh, I thought you'd always be mine.
So how great is that? When that happens, I don't care if they've learned anything STEAM related. I don't care if they've you know, become more digitally literate citizens. This is where it's really happening and where the students really connect. And there's a lot of shared culture. And it's just that is what they bond over. But we need to give them structure and a project to make those initial connections so that they can do that kind of bonding. So I wanted you to see that, because that's the real impact. But then there's the, you know, sort of the other impacts that are listed on bullet points, which are in the next two slides. And you got two more, Anel? Yeah. So many of these are things that I heard Monique talking about already. Certainly the relationships and, you know, cross-cultural understanding. Language competence is a really important, being able to practice in a real world context. Sports, fostering, you know, the discipline, the teamwork, the strategy. And the shared projects really is important. It's not enough just to throw kids together and you hope something will happen, and eventually it will happen. But at the beginning, they do need some facilitating. And then the next slide. Yeah, so this is the STEAM Museum in particular. We've been doing this for 4 years now. We're out of funding, if anybody has any ideas. I'm actually looking for funding to keep this going, but we've reached a lot of students, and would really like to keep it going and expand it into language classes in CPS and beyond. So that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa, and thank you, Monique and Marnie. This is phenomenal. Your work in education is very, very much appreciated, not only by us as an organization, but by all the kids that you have touched. So with that said, you've heard a lot about different educational programming today, and now it's time to test all that knowledge with a brief quiz. So go on your computer, your laptop, your phone, tablet, www.kahoot.it, and it'll ask you for a PIN code, and that's 778-2254. Then you just enter your name, and then you'll be able to play. It's a short round of 4 questions. Again, you can win a $25 gift card certificate to a restaurant partner from our Taste of Sister Cities restaurants. And I will let Ella, our trivia master, take it away.
Oh, wait, hello, everyone. Welcome back to trivia. Okay, we have 4 people so far. The passcode is on the screen, 778-2254. We'll give you a couple more seconds to join. Who's Madam? Madam, I love this. And we have Steph, David from Paris, Colleen, Christina, and Marnice. And Sherry just joined. Anyone else? Going in 5, 4, 3.
Oh, we just lost someone too.
We just lose someone, sadly.
Womp womp.
Okay, we're gonna.
Oh, and another person.
Oh no!
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're back.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready?
Interesting.
We're ready. Here we go. Oh, I apologize. You gotta have the music to go with this. That is really the key for this. Okay, here we go. Education Initiatives quiz. Question number 1. How many CSCI committees have participated in education initiatives since 1960? 23, 25, 27, 29. Like one from maybe Casablanca. I see Lisa. Correct answer is 29. Congratulations. So let's see, who do we have in the top? Okay, David from Paris, Colleen, and Lisa. All right, next question. How many educational exchanges has the Paris Committee coordinated since 2003? I don't know if David can answer this one. Just since 2003. That is amazing.
I love Marnie's just jamming out and dancing.
Yes, this music is really kind of a groove. Okay, Colleen moved up to the top with 1,800 points. Lisa in second place so far, and David in third place. All right, next question. The Global Voices program focused on language education through which art form? Painting, writing, and performing. Excellent. It was writing and performing, and it looks like almost everyone got. Oh, Lisa, you are on fire apparently. And you're on fire. But Colleen is holding out at number 1 so far. Yeah, right, last question.
I was part of this, so is that really allowed?
I'm not sure. Maybe that's why you have the fire symbol next to you. Let's see. Question number 4. How many students have been reached through CSCI education initiatives in total? Ah, yes. Really, it's probably millions, but we'll go with these numbers for now. I feel like dancing. All right, tens of thousands, which really means closer to like 100,000 to a million. Let's be honest, over the 60 years that we've been around. Here's the podium. Number 3, Colleen. All right, third place. Okay. Second place is Sherry. Yep. And first, oh goodness, this is switched up a lot. Lisa! Lisa, you won! Runners up for David and Marnice. Thank you all very much for playing. And, oh, I get it. It says Kahoot across the 3. That's cute. Very nice. So, Lisa, we will reach out and ask you which restaurant you would like to choose.
Okay, now seriously, was that cheating that I did that? Because I presented.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would not consider it.
If everyone else is okay with that.
I think we're okay.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, our presenters and our audience. Tomorrow, Ella will be presenting on community impact, which I think will be phenomenal. And same bat time, same bat channel, 4 o'clock. We do have 5 minutes left if anyone has any questions for Monique or Lisa or Marnie. If not, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
All right, Adrian, any last words?
I would just say, again, as always, these presentations to show the very tip of the iceberg of the programs that we have. So many of our committees have done really remarkable exchanges over the years, but thank you to those who presented today. And like I said, these education initiatives are just so inspirational to me. Motivate me, just learning to see how they start viewing the world and the differences that they'll make because of these experiences. So thank you for making these possible for our youth in Chicago and in our sister cities. You are making a difference, you are making an impact, and you're changing the world. So thank you.
Thank you.
Right. See you tomorrow, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.